Hello everybody. Today I wanted to take another look of the Chinese Pokemon cards that I showed you in my other videos. Mainly because I have gotten a new phone and it's good enough to take videos, and I can actually read the description of the Pokemon cards a lot easier with this setup. So let's go ahead and jump into that. So I'm not going to be reading any of this part here. I'm just going to be reading the description. Okay, so it understands human speech and is highly intelligent. It is a tender Pokemon that dislikes fighting. The protuberances on its head serve as sensors. It can even detect distant prey. I should show you what Pokemon is. This Pokemon's mucus can dissolve anything toothless. Oh, sorry. I didn't see the period here. This Pokemon's mucus can dissolve anything. Toothless, it sprays mucus on its prey. Once they're nicely dissolved, it slurps them up. And we have a few of these Slugoos. Gumi. Its source of protection is its slimy, germ-laden mucous membrane. Anyone who touches it needs some thorough hand washing. So that wouldn't be a fun Pokemon to have. You couldn't even really touch it. It gets picked on because it's meek. But then, whoever teased it gets to feel the full force of its horns and a good swatting from its thick tail. I'm reading these through my phone screen, and sometimes the color can be a little weird to read. When it spots enemies, it threatens them by jingling the scales on its tail. Weak opponents will crack and flee in panic. Here's a really cool looking Pokemon. Oh, this is kind of like the other Pokemon that this one evolves. No, that evolves into this one. Is it? Oh no, it's the same one. Oh my god. Let's get this guy. That threw me off for a moment. Okay, Salamence. Oh, hey, wait a minute. Okay, no. I thought that the other one had more to its description. Okay, let's continue. It flies around on its wings. It flies around on its wings? Okay. Which have grown in... Huh? Oh, okay. I need to quit thinking so much about what I'm reading. It flies around on its wings, which have grown in at last. In its happiness, it gushes hot flames, burning up the fields it passes over. It understands human speech and is highly intelligent. It is a tender Pokemon that dislikes fighting. Did we already do this one? Yep. I've got to remember which ones we've done. Latias. can telepathically communicate with people. It changes its appearance using its down that refracts light. Honestly, I'm expecting more misspellings or like typos or just like nonsense. But so far, it's not so bad. They lurk deep within caves, motionless, neither eating nor drinking. Why they don't die is not known. Shogun. That is really weird. Sligo, we already did this one. Yep. Dino. Lacking sight, it's unaware of its surroundings, so it bumps into things and eats anything that moves. Wow, that's kind of scary. Goom Goom. These are the same description. And the GXs, of course, don't have anything. Let me grab the next pile. Executor. As it grew taller and taller, it outgrew its reliance on psychic powers. While within it awakened the power of the sleeping dragon. Executor here. This is Vilon. The patterns on this Pokemon's wings depend on the climate and topography of its habitat. It scatters colorful scales. So these are like scales, I guess. Devilmize. I like this Pokemon. Oh, there's a misprint here. They forgot the T. I'll just read it as it is. He, soul of seaweed adrift in the waves, became reborn as this Pokemon. It maintains itself with new infusions of seabed detritus and seaweed. Is that detritus or am I missing a T? Detritus. I don't even know what that is. Gogoat. They inhabit mountainous regions. The leader of the herd is decided by a battle of clashing horns. And I am chewing a little bit of gum, so maybe I should have mentioned that in the beginning. Sorry. Pheromosa. One of the ultra beasts. It refuses to touch anything, perhaps because it senses some uncleanness in this world. A bunch of fruit around its neck ripens twice a year and is delicious. It's a highly favored tropical snack. Okay, I don't know. It delivers headbutts with the water bubble on its head. Small Pokemon get sucked into the bubble where they drown. That's pretty sad. It lives deep in forests. With the leaf on its head, it makes a flute whose song makes listeners uneasy. I don't know if you heard, but one of my neighbors Snover. In the spring, it grows berries with the texture of frozen treats around its belly. Oh. Spupa. The beaks of birds can't begin to scratch its stalwart body. To defend itself, it spews powder. Sea dot. When it dangles from a tree branch, it looks just like an acorn. It enjoys scaring other Pokemon. I mean, even without being on a branch, it looks exactly like an acorn. Six of them together form a full-fledged Pokemon. It's often hunted by Crabrawler, but uses psychokinesis to drive it off. So if there's not six, then it's not a Pokemon. The powder that covers its body regulates its temperature, so it can live in any region or climate. Scatterbug. I haven't been saying the names, maybe I should. Or maybe I shouldn't. This is gonna be the same. Yep. Wow, so many scatterbugs. Leafeon is a GX, so it doesn't do anything. Abomasnow. It lives in a quiet life on mountains that are perpetually covered in snow. Perpetually. It hides itself by whipping up blizzards. It's pretty cool. I keep bumping the phone. Okay, all of these are extras. Rotom. Its body is composed of plasma. It is known to infiltrate electronic devices and wreak havoc. The ultimate hacker. Wow, my neighbors are being pretty crazy. Illumise. With its sweet aroma, it guides Volbeat to draw signs with light in the night sky. And there's Volbeat. It lives around clean ponds. At night, its rear lights up. It converses with others by flashing its light. Skiddo. If it has sunshine and water, it doesn't need to eat, because it can generate energy from the leaves on its back. Pretty cool. Okay. That's it for the grass Pokemon. Let's go to the colorless Pokemon. Arceus. It is told in mythology that this Pokemon was born before the universe existed. Diggersby, or Diggersby. As powerful as an excavator, its ears can reduce dense bedrock to rubble. When it's finished digging, it lounges lazily. Drumpa. This Pokemon is friendly to people and loves children most of all. It comes from deep in the mountains to play with children it likes in town. I said that kind of like creepily. Don't know why. Noivern. Its ultrasonic waves. The ultrasonic waves it emits from its ears can reduce a large boulder to pebbles. It swoops out of the dark to attack. Type Null. I never played the game that had this Pokemon in it, so I don't really know anything about this one. This is kind of hard to read. The heavy control mask it wears suppresses its intrinsic capabilities. This Pokemon has some hidden special power. Cool. Furfrou. Historically, in the Kalos region, these Pokemon were the designated guardians of the king. That's a lot of Furfrous. Bonobi. It has ears like shovels. Digging holes strengthens its ears so much that they can sever thick roots effortlessly. Eevee. Possessing an unbalanced and unstable genetic makeup, it conceals many possible evolutions. Noibat. Even a robust wrestler will become dizzy and unable to stand when exposed to its 200,000 Hz ultrasonic waves. Back to Arceus. Did we do Drampa already? Yeah, because it was the creepy one. Okay, done it, finished. Young Goose. It wanders around in a never-ending search for food. At dusk, it collapses from exhaustion and falls asleep on the spot. Glameow. When it's happy, Glameow demonstrates beautiful movements of its tail, like a dancing ribbon. That's pretty cool. I keep saying it's pretty cool to a lot of things, but they are pretty cool. Whismer. If it senses danger, it scares the foe by crying out with the volume of a jet plane engine. I don't think that Beware is very scared right now. Alright, colorless finished. Let's do the next one here. Lunala. That is a GX, so I can't do that one. Alexam, Banette, Espeon, Tapulele. Okay, here we go. Aegislash. Apparently, it can detect the innate qualities of leadership. According to legend, whoever it recognizes is destined to become king. And then Furfrou will protect that king. Dragalge. Tales are told of ships that wander into seas where Dragalge live, never to return. Deoxys. Well, this is kind of hard to read. DNA from a space virus mutated and became a Pokemon. It appears where, auroras are seen. That one's hard to read. Deoxys again, whatever one. And it's the same. And again, it's the same. Toxicroak. Its knuckle claws secrete a toxin so vile that even a scratch could prove fatal. Meowstic. The eyeball patterns on the interior of its ears emit psychic energy. It keeps the patterns tightly covered because that power is too immense. Malamar. It lures prey close with hypnotic motions, then wraps its tentacles around it before finishing it off with digestive fluids. Banette. Oh, let me get a better grip here. Strong feelings of hatred turn to say that, but and this is hard to read. There's something accumulating around the black core within its hard shell. People think this Pokemon may come from another world, but maybe this is a black hole, you know? Dual Blade. The complex attack patterns of its two swords are unstoppable, even for an opponent greatly accomplished at swordplay. Hoopa. It gathers things it likes and passes them through its loop to teleport them to a secret place. So this is like what people would think a black hole would be like. But actually, I believe in a video on Star Talk that Neil deGrasse Tyson explained that it's actually a black hole is not what a wormhole would be like, or a wormhole would not be like a black hole. I think it just said the same thing. But basically he said black holes just aren't wormholes. They don't work that way. If they could. Mesprit. It sleeps at the bottom of a lake. Its spirit is said to leave its body to fly on the lake's surface. Rotom. Its body is composed of plasma. It is known to infiltrate electronic devices and wreak havoc. Okay, that's the same as before. Poipole. This ultra beast is well enough liked to be chosen as a first partner in its own world. Another Poipole, but it's a different color. Azelf. It is thought that Uxie, Mesprit, and Azelf all came from the same egg. Inkay. It flashes the light-emitting spots on its body, which drains its opponent's will to fight. It takes the opportunity to scuttle away and hide. Esper. It has enough psychic energy to blast everything within 300 feet of itself, but it has no control over its power. Squelp. It looks just like rotten kelp. It hides from foes while storing up power for its evolution. Uxie. It is said that its emergence gave humans the intelligence to improve their quality of life. Croagunk. Inflating its poison sacs, it fills the area with an odd sound and hits flinching opponents with a poison jab. Honedge. If anyone dares to grab its hilt, it wraps a blue cloth around that person's arm and drains that person's life energy completely. So it's just like a worthless sword. Shuppet. It loves vengeful emotions and hangs in rows under the caves of houses where vengeful people live. Another Honedge. Yep, it's the same description. Zubat. This Zubat looks really cool. It does not need eyes because it emits ultrasonic waves to check its surroundings while it flies. That card just looks weird altogether. Aegislash. Oh, I already did that one. Did Meowstic, right? Yeah. Malamar we did. Okay, yeah. Finished. Hoopah, finished. Hoopah. Double blade. Hoopah. Rotom. Mesprit. Did we do Mesprit? Yeah, Mesprit. Done. Honedge. Scrub. You can see. Esper, Scrub. Okay. Wow. Yep, all finished. Oh, these kids are loud. My goodness. Maybe we'll wait for a moment. Okay. Magnezone. As it zooms through the sky, this Pokemon seems to be receiving signals of unknown origin, while transmitting signals of unknown purpose. Circuitry. It appeared from the Ultra wormhole. It raided a power plant, so people think it energizes itself with electricity. Manectric. It discharges electricity from its mane. It creates a thundercloud overhead to drop lightning bolts. Heliolisk. It stimulates its muscles with electricity, boosting the strength in its legs and enabling it to run 100 yards in 5 seconds. Magneton. It has about 3 times the electrical power of Magnemite. For some reason, outbreaks of this Pokemon happen when lots of sunspots appear. Oricorio. It creates an electric charge by rubbing its feathers together. It dances over to its enemies and delivers shocking electrical punches. Minun. It cheers on friends. If its friends are losing, its body lets off more and more sparks. Puzzle. It absorbs electricity from telephone poles. It shorts out its body to create crackling noises. Helioptile. The frills on either side of its head have cells that generate electricity when exposed to sunlight. Electric. It stores static electricity in its fur for discharging. It gives off sparks if a storm approaches. Then we have Electrode, Magnezone again. I think. Yep, all these are going to be extras. Okay. I'm done with the electric type Pokemon. Now let's go to the fire type. Okay. Blaziken, Delphox. It tosses its enemies around with agility. It uses all its limbs to fight in its own unique style. This fake Magmar here. Boiling blood like magma circulates through its body and makes its dwelling place in volcanic caves. Alone in Marowak. Its custom is to mourn its lost companions. Mounds of dirt by the side of the road mark the graves of the Marowak. This gum is starting to deteriorate. Pyroar. With fiery breath of more than 10,000 degrees Fahrenheit, they viciously threaten any challenger. The females protect the pride's cubs. Oricorio. This Oricorio has, sipped red nectar. Its passionate dance moves cause its enemies to combust in both body and mind. That's kind of scary. And then combustion. During a battle, the hot flame in its body increases. Its kicks have outstanding destructive power. Lately, when the twig is plucked from its tail, friction sets the twig alight. The flame is used to send signals to its allies. That's neat. Finnegan. As it walks, it munches on a twig in place of a snack. It intimidates opponents by puffing hot air out of its ears. It's the same. There we go, Torchic. A fire burns inside, so it feels very warm to hug. It launches fireballs of 1,800 degrees Fahrenheit. Volcanion. Bill Fox, another Magmar. Turtonator. It gushes fire and poisonous gases from its nostrils. I didn't expect to see that. Its dung is an explosive substance that can be put to various uses. Okay, and then the rest. Oh no, here's a Magcargo. Huh? But this is not a GX Pokemon, but down here it says when your Pokemon GX eye knocked out. That's like the new iPhone of being knocked out. I knocked out. Your opponent takes 2 prize cards. Opponent takes 2 prize cards. Okay, so they just had to make sure to tell you twice in case you just weren't really sure. Or maybe the second time was like a demand. Salandit or Salandit. Volcanoes or dry, craggy places are its home. It emanates a sweet-smelling poisonous gas that attracts Pokemon and then attacks them. Here's ourselves a nice-looking Finnegan here. They set off on their own from their pride and live by themselves to become stronger. These hot-blooded Pokemon are quick to fight. Alright. We're getting close to being done here. Okay. Next are these cards that don't have anything up here, but they do have some description, if I can read it. The same rocks that form its body have been found in ground layers around the world. It's a Malamar. It lures prey close with hypnotic motions. Okay, yeah. Then it wraps its tentacles around before it finishes its dash. Yeah, we know. Next. I'm trying to mask the sounds of my neighbors with my own voice. This is Quagsire. This carefree Pokemon has an easygoing nature. While swimming, it always bumps into bolt holes. Okay, here's a Gloom. honey it drools from its mouth smells so atrocious it can curl noses more than a mile away. That's really funny. Ancient science fashioned this Pokemon from clay. It's been active for thousands of years. Gyarados. Rarely seen in the wild, huge and vicious, it is capable of destroying entire cities in a rage. Eevee. Thanks to its... Okay, we already know this one. Rotom. Its body is composed of plasma. We already know this one. Flareon. It has a flame bag inside its body. After inhaling deeply, it blows out flames of nearly 3,000 degrees Fahrenheit. I don't remember this is curly or something like that. It has a psychic power that enables it to distort the space around it and see into the future. Another Malamar, like the Pokemon that evolves into it, I don't know. It flashes the light emitting spots on its body. It drains its opponents will fight. Oh, okay. I thought we already read this one. It flashes the light emitting spots on its body, which drains its opponent's will to fight. Oh, we did read this one again already. Okay. Next. Can't read it. Metagross. The linkage of two Metang. This Pokemon can perform any calculation in a flash by utilizing parallel processing in its four brains. Bastiodon. It lived in the same environments as Rampardos. Their fossils have been found together, seemingly from after they'd fought to, I want to say to death, or to extinction. Alright, another. Oh, wow. So this is Magnezone again, but this time they've put, oh, this is just different. When one of your Pokemon GX is knocked out, your opponent takes 2 prize cards. So they fixed this. But then they just, yeah. Magnezone. We already done this one. Kartana. One of the Ultra Beast life forms. It was observed cutting down a gigantic steel tower with one stroke of its blade. Excuse me. Magearna. This artificial Pokemon, constructed more than 500 years ago, can understand human speech, but cannot itself speak. It didn't finish. Empoleon. The 3 horns that extend from its beak attest to its power. The leader has the biggest horns. Celesteela. One kind of Ultra Beast. Witnesses have seen it burn down a forest by expelling gas from its 2 arms. Heatran. Boiling blood like... Okay, we've already done this one. Metang. It adores magnetic minerals, so it pursues Nosepass at speeds exceeding 60 miles per hour. Let's try that again. It adores magnetic minerals, so it pursues Nosepass at speeds exceeding 60 miles per hour. Jirachi. It is said to have the ability to grant any wish for just 1 week every 1,000 years. I was going to say hours. Mawile. Attached to its head is a huge set of jaws formed by horns. It can chew through iron beams. Kartana. which it slashes them with its rear claws. Okay. Now to our fairy type, Klefki. It inserts its horn into chunks of metal. Wait. It has a horn. I guess it's a horn. It inserts its horn into chunks in metal, absorbing iron. Oh my god. Metal ions. For some reason, it collects keys. Florges, or forges. Like gorgeous, so florges. Or just like florgs. In times long past, governors of castles would invite florges to create flower gardens to embellish the castle domains. Sylveon. When this Pokemon sights its prey, it swirls its ribbon-like feelers as a distraction. A moment later, it pounces. Floetta. When the flowers of a well-tended flower bed bloom, it appears and celebrates with an elegant dance. Flabebe. When it finds a flower it likes, it dwells on that flower its whole life long. It floats in the wind's embrace with an untroubled heart. Okay. Do we not do Tapu Lele? This guardian deity of Akala is guilelessly cruel. The fragrant aroma of flowers is the source of its energy. Dedenne is how you say it. I don't know. It uses its tail to absorb electricity from power plants or from outlets in houses, and then it fires the electricity from its whiskers. Moral. I can't really see this. Okay. It scatters spores that flicker and float and glow. Anyone seeing these lights falls into a deep slumber. And then there's our Flabebe. Okay. Next we have Alolan Ninetales. Okay. Blastoise, Glaceon, Kingdra, Aurorus. Using its diamond-shaped crystals, it can instantly create a wall of ice to block an opponent's attack. There's all those. Amora. Despite what its appearance suggests, it cares for others. If it finds vulnerable, weak Pokemon, it protectively brings them into its water bubble. Huntail. It lives. Wow, why am I saying that so weird? It lives deep in the sea. With a tail shaped like a small fish, it attracts unsuspecting prey. Clawitzer. This attack does. Yeah, they just copied and pasted on accident here. Well, okay. I was serious when I started reading it too. Araquanid. Arachnid. Why did I have so much trouble saying that? this. Already read it. Done. Gorbis. Its swimming form is exquisitely elegant. With its thin mouth, it feeds on seaweed that grows between rocks. Amora. This calm Pokemon lived in a cold land where there were no violent predators like Tyrantrum. Frogadier. Its swiftness is unparalleled. It can scale a tower of more than 2,000 feet in a minute's time. Froakie. It protects its skin by covering its body in delicate bubbles. Beneath its happy-go-lucky air, it keeps a watchful eye on its surroundings. Alolan Vulpix. It exhales air colder than negative 58 degrees Fahrenheit. Elderly people in Alola call this Pokemon by an older name, Kyokyo. Bergamite. Using air of negative 150 degrees Fahrenheit, they freeze opponents solid. They live in herds above the snow line on mountains. Dewbiter. When it comes across enemies or potential prey, this Pokemon smashes its water bubble covered head into them. Clauncher. Through controlled expulsions of internal gas, it can expel water like a pistol shot. At close distances, it can shatter rock. Clamperl. It is protected by a sturdy shell. Once in a lifetime, it makes a magnificent pearl. Aurorus. Did we do this already? No. Using its diamond-shaped crystals, it can instantly create a wall of ice to block any opponent's attack. I think we did do that one. And this one's name is Avalok, not the other thing. And then, like, it has a different... The way several Bergamite huddle on its back make it look like an aircraft carrier made of ice. Abomasnow. It lives a quiet life on mountains that are perpetually covered in snow. It hides itself by whipping up blizzards. Oh, we already read that one. Alolan Sandslash. This Pokemon's steel spikes are sheathed in ice. Stabs from these spikes can cause deep wounds and severe frostbite as well. Until Glowitzer. Okay, I think all of these are finished. Do we do this one? Manaphy. It starts its life with a wondrous power that permits it to bond with any kind of Pokemon. Buizel. It inflates the flotation sac around its neck and pokes its head out of the water to see what is going on. Bergamite. Okay, we already know this one. Dewbiter. Okay. Next is our darkness Pokemon, or dark Pokemon. Guzzlord. A dangerous ultra beast. It appears to be eating constantly, but for some reason its droppings have never been found. Maybe it eats its own droppings. Alolan Rattata. When the sun goes down, it becomes active. It runs around town on a chase for good food for the boss of its nest, Raticate. Alolan Raticate. Oh, it's a Geodude. the slight twitches of its bamboo leaf, it deduces its opponent's movements. It's eager to tussle, but kind-hearted toward its companions. Skuntank. It sprays a stinky fluid from its tail. The fluid smells worse the longer it is allowed to fester. Weavile. They dwell in cold places. This Pokemon's main food source in Alola is Vulpix and Sandshrew. Wow. Which they carefully divide among their group. Sneasel. It uses its claws to poke holes in eggs so it can slurp out the insides. Breeders consider it a source, a scourge. Is that what it says? Hold on. Oops. Yeah. Consider it a scourge and will drive it away or eradicate it. That was really hard to read. Zura. To protect themselves from danger, they hide their true identities by transforming into people and Pokemon. Okay, and now we're to the last stack. This is the fighting Pokemon. Tyrantrum. Nothing could stop this Pokemon 100 million years ago. So it behaved like a king. Rampardos. Records exist of a revived fossil that evolved into Rampardos. It proceeded to escape and then destroy a skyscraper with a headbutt. Hippowdon. It blasts internally stored sand from ports on its body to create a towering twister for attack. Barbaracle. Barbaracle's legs and hands have minds of their own, and they will move independently, but they usually follow the head's orders. Buzzwall. This mysterious life form called an Ultra Beast witnesses saw it pulverize a dump truck with a single punch. Infernape. It tosses its enemies around with agility. It uses all its limbs to fight in its own unique style. We've heard this one before. Another Buzzwell. More Barbicle. Lycanroc. Bathed in the setting sun of evening, Lycanroc has undergone a special kind of evolution. An intense fighting spirit underlies its calmness. Diancie. It can instantly create many diamonds by compressing the carbon in the air between its hands. Tyrant. Its immense jaws have enough destructive force that it can chew up an automobile. It lived 100 million years ago. Zygarde. If your opponent has an Ultra Beast in play, this attack does 30 more damage. Whew. Glad to know about that. Hawlucha. With its wings, it controls the position in the air. It likes to attack from above, a maneuver that is difficult to defend against. Gabite or Gabite. Shiny objects are its passion. It can be found in its cave, scarcely moving, its gaze fixed upon the jewels it's amassed or a carbink it has caught. Pancham. There's no point to the leaf in its mouth, aside from the effort to look cool. It's mischievous, so it's not well suited to unexperienced trainers. Rockruff. This Pokemon has lived with people since times long ago. It can sense when its trainer is in the dumps and will stick close by its trainer's side. Binacle. They stretch and then contrast, yanking their rocks along with them in bold hops. They eat seaweed that washes up on the shoreline. Krogunk. We've already done this one. Kibble. It skulks in caves, and when prey or an enemy passes by, it leaps out and chomps them. The force of its attack sometimes chips its teeth. Torterra. Small Pokemon occasionally gather on its unmoving back to begin building their nests. Pissimian, have we done this one? Yep. Possible, we've done. Barbacool, Zygarde. Is it the same? It's thought to be monitoring the ecosystem. There are rumors that even greater power lies within it. Is it this Zygarde? Infernape. Okay, done. Here we go. Lucario. They can detect the species of a living thing and its emotions from over half a mile away. They control auras and hunt their prey in packs. Toxicroak. Its knuckle claws secrete a toxin so vile that even a scratch can prove fatal. Another Zygarde. Okay, we don't put that. Hippopotas. It enshrouds itself with sand to protect itself from germs. It does not enjoy getting wet, which is like the opposite of a hippopotamus. Metacham. Through yoga training, it gained the psychic power to predict its foe's next move. Gabite. Holodro, Rock Metatite. It eats just one berry a day. By enduring hunger, its spirit is tempered and made sharper and super skinny. Krogunk. Cubone. The skull it wears on its head is that of its dead mother. According to some, it will evolve when it comes to terms with the pain of her death. So pretty much like every Cubone's mother died. So that is it. This is a pretty long video. It's the longest video I've ever done, but I figured I would go ahead and do it. But